The story I'm going to read today is The Three Little Tamales by Eric A. Kimmel. I'm going to try and bring the book up closer to the screen so you can really see these beautiful illustrations. Once upon a time in Texas, there lived a couple known to all as Tio Jose and Tia Lupe. Tio Jose and Tia Lupe owned a taqueria, a little restaurant. Everyone said that Tia Lupe made the best tortillas and tamales in all of Texas. Every morning she wrapped the tamales in corn husks and steamed them in a pot. When they were done, she put them by the window to cool. One day, three little tamales saw a tortilla rolling by. "Where are you going?" they asked the tortilla. "I'm running away," the tortilla told them. "If I stay here, someone's going to eat me." "You'll be eaten too. You better run." "We don't want to be eaten," the three little tamales said. They decided to run away together. They jumped out of the window and ran down the road before anyone knew they were gone. The first little tamale ran until she came to the prairie. She breathed in the smell of sagebrush. "I want to live here," the first little tamale said. She built herself a little house, a casita, out of sagebrush and moved in. She went to sleep that night, surrounded by the sweet smell of sage. The second little tamale ran until he came to a cornfield. He listened to the rustling corn stalks. "That sounds like music. I want to live here," the second little tamale said. He built his casita out of corn stalks and moved in. He went to sleep that night, listening to the music of corn stalks. The third little tamale ran until she came to the desert. She saw cactus bristling with thorns. "Cactus will make a strong house. The thorns will protect me," the third little tamale said. She built her casita out of tough, prickly cactus and moved in. She slept soundly that night, protected by cactus. The three little tamales lived happily for some time. Then one day, who should come trotting by but Senor Lobo, the big bad wolf. The first little tamale saw him coming. She ran inside her sagebrush house and shut the door. Senor Lobo walked up to the house. He looked in the window and said, "Senorita Tamale, por favor, I want to come in, so open the door." The first little tamale replied, "Senor Lobo, muy lindo, I'm sorry to say, I won't let you in, so please go away." Senor Lobo answered, "I'll huff and I'll puff like a Texas tornado and blow your casito from here to Laredo." Then he huffed and puffed until he blew the sagebrush casita to pieces. By the time the first little tamale got out just in time, she ran to her brother's house, the one made of cornstalks. The second little tamale saw her coming. He opened the door and let her in, just as Senor Lobo arrived. Senor Lobo walked up to the cornstalk house. He looked in the window and said, "Senor Tamale, por favor, I want to come in, so open the door." The second little tamale replied, "Senor Lobo, muy guapo, I'm sorry to say, I won't let you in, so please go away." Senor Lobo answered, "I'll huff and I'll puff like a Texas tornado and blow your casito from here to Laredo." Then he huffed and puffed until he blew the cornstalk casita to pieces, but the two little tamales escaped just in time. They ran to their sister's house in the desert, the one made of cactus. The third little tamale saw them coming. She opened the door and let them in just as Senor Lobo arrived. Senor Lobo walked up to the cactus house. He looked in the window. He knocked on the door. "Ow!" he yelled as the cactus thorn stuck him. Then he said, "Senor Tamale, por favor, I want to come in, Senorita Tamale, por favor, I want to come in, so open the door." The third little tamale replied, Senor Lobo, muy tonto, I'm sorry to say, I won't let you in, so please go away. Senor Lobo answered, I'll huff and I'll puff like a Texas tornado and blow your casita from here to Laredo. Go ahead and try. I think you don't think you can, the third little tamale told him. That made Senor Lobo angry. He huffed and he puffed and he huffed and he puffed. He huffed and puffed until he was out of breath. But the little casita never budged because the cactus was tough. Its roots were strong and its long, sharp thorns were woven tightly together. I know what I'll do, Senor Lobo said. If I can't blow this house to pieces, I'll climb down the chimney. The three little tamales will never know I'm coming. But when the Senor Lobo climbed on top of the house, the cactus thorns pricked his paws. Ay, 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 he yelped as he tiptoed across the roof. Senor Lobo is on the roof. He's coming down the chimney. What will we do? We'd better run, cried the first tamale. We'd better hide, said the second little tamale. No, we won't, said the third little tamale. I'm not afraid of Senor Lobo. I know a better way to deal with him than running away and hiding. She told the others her plan. They agreed to help her. The three little tamales filled a pot with water and set it on the fire to boil. They heard Senor Lobo climbing down the chimney. Ay, 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 he yelled. Splash! He fell into the pot of water. Clang! The three little tamales covered the pot with an iron lid. Let me out, Senor Lobo howled. No, we can't, the three little tamales replied. We're cooking wolf tamales for dinner. I don't want to be a tamale, Senor Lobo yelled. He jumped out of the pot, climbed back up the chimney, and ran across the roof. He didn't let the cactus thorn slow him down. He ran until he was out of sight, and he never came back. There he is, all tied up with corn husks. Senor Lobo was gone for good. The three little tamales never had to worry about him again. So they had a fiesta and invited all their friends to celebrate. And who were the friends who came to the fiesta of the three little tamales? Why, the runaway tortillas. Of course, that is the end.